everyone, welcome back to the basement. Today we're going to be doing some woodworking like you guys just saw, and let me show you what I'm working on and how can I say this, and how I just finished wasting all my time. Let me show you. So as you guys can see, we are making a cover for this sink. I want to be able to cover the sink, so if I'm doing a big project here, I could cover this and not have a problem of whatever I'm working on getting in there. Or for example, I have been grinding this door, so all the I don't know, the little pieces of metal that fly off of the grinder blade falls in here and it rusts, as you can see right here. So I want to be able to cover it. So let me show you how I waste my time. So as you guys can see, I think you guys get the point of what I was doing here. I made a hole so I'm able to get my hand in and scribe the inside. I put a piece of tape so I could have about a 30-second on each side of plate. And then, you know, I put the piece on top like so. I outlined the bottom and then I cut it as close as possible with the circular saw, and then I sanded it, you know, up to the line. But the truth is, off camera, after sanding it, I tried to put it in place and it didn't fit. I had to sand a whole bunch to get it to the point of where it is now. And it's not perfect. You can see here, there's some gaps. Up here, there's some gaps. And over here, there's a gap. So it's not as clean as I want it to be. So I came up with another idea. I cut the piece of wood, which is this one. It's what I had left of the top when I installed it. So I cut this to size, and the goal of mine was to put this on top and then, you know, use the router like so, to get it to where I need it so that it could fall into place. But since I didn't like the way this came out, what I am going to be doing is putting a piece of wood like this one that is extremely straight and cutting it with the router to the line, because you know this router has a ball bearing right there. So I'm going to be cutting it to the line so that the piece can fall into the sink and hold itself in place. So let's see if this plan is going to work, because obviously I'm not going to risk losing this piece and use that template, because you guys saw it's not perfect on the edges. So I'm going to do my best to make this work, and hopefully I get to save this project, but never done anything like this before, so hopefully all of it works out. With the router and a couple of clamps, I'm going to be able to router this piece out, and yeah, hopefully it goes well. And I'm going to be using the router outside because this whole entire place got filled with dust when I was using the vacuum and the palm sander, and also using the circular saw. So let's go outside and let's start cutting this piece. I'm having some problems. I put this piece of wood right on the line, and it looks like all the chattering that's happening is pushing this back. So this project might not go the way that I want it to, and that's unfortunate. I just thought that I'll share that with you guys. Like you see here it's lower here. I think I'm just taking too much, but I need that ball bearing right there to, you know, to ride on this. I think I'm doing something wrong, but let's just keep going at it. I did tighten the collar more so that this doesn't get loose, because it is a lot of chatter, but I'm not liking how this project is going. Oh, I have a lot of splitting here too. Anyway, let's keep going at it and see what happens. All right, so it looks like I have to cut more in the front to push this back, because apparently this is not enough, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is looking good. This is pretty locked in place. Like I said earlier in the video, I thought that the line was off, but it's not. Something weird is going on, and I think that the router was chattering. I was taking off too much material, so I don't really use routers every single day, so this is kind of new to me, and yeah, it is what it is. I'm learning as I go. So now what we have to do is push the plywood a little set back so that this side could fall into the sink itself, and bring it to a 1/2 inch thick. That's what's going to be showing on the top, and if I don't like how 1/2 inch looks, I'm going to make it a 1/4. So yeah, let's keep at it. This video is pretty much me just routing the whole entire thing, and then I'm going to be sealing it, and I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be doing to seal it. Now that I'm looking at this, I don't think that the problem was that I have to cut this back. That's why I was not sealing in the back. I think is that I have to make this, you know, round. But instead of making it round, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across like so, maybe 1 inch back here and 1 inch back here, and then cut that off with the router, and then see if that works. So before I keep biting into this and getting this to the thickness that I need, let me cut this off right here, this corner, on both sides, and see if it fits in place. And if it does, I'll continue doing the routing. I have to cut some more in the front. Damn. Oh, no, I don't. I don't have to cut some more. I think I have to do this side, this corner too. Okay, now all 4 corners were cut out. Let's see. Perfect. It falls in place. It has play, as you can see. But I guess I could glue some pieces in and call that a day. But now what I'm gonna do is cutting this to 1/2 inch, right around there. I'm just gonna do it off camera because it's just gonna be a whole bunch of me routing. So for time's sake, I'll just cut it off camera and show you guys when I'm done at 1/2 inch. And like I said, if I wanna cut off more, I'm gonna bring it to 1/4. But as of right now, we're gonna do 1/2 inch. And as you can see in my face, I'm a little bit scared of using this router. I wish I had like a worktop or something that I could work on where I could clamp this in place and, you know, maybe have a different bit. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'll get in contact with some friends that are good with routers and see what I'm doing wrong. And maybe I could tell you guys what I did wrong in the end of the video. Or maybe you guys could tell me in the comments down below. That's perfect. That's perfect. It's a little bit, you know, it's hanging out a little bit up here, but it's good. That will get the job done. And it doesn't move left to right. And I'm guessing it's because the sink itself is pinching its way in. And because this piece of wood is going straight, it's probably rubbing on the walls, which is good. And it doesn't cost, actually it is kind of tight. It is kind of tight to get it up. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cut some notches in the back with the die grinder so that we could get some air in and out. So let's do that now. All right, that's it. It's folding in properly and it comes up pretty easy. So now what we're gonna do is I have to seal this. And what I'm gonna use to seal it, the whole bottom is epoxy, Total Volt epoxy. So I'm gonna seal the whole bottom up to this point, and then on the top over here, I'm going to be sanding it nice and smooth and using the same finish I used on this, which is polyurethane. So let's finish up this video now. Well, there you go. The cover is done and it looks good. The grain is different, as you can see from the grain going this way and this grain going this way. And it's mainly because we cut it off on that end going that way. And that's all I had left. So we work with what we have. So right now there's only one coat on this. I have to do about 8 more for it to match this. But that's gonna take a couple of days and I just wanted to get this video out. So now that we have this cover done, we can finish this door without anything getting in the sink and like dirt and stuff. And also when I'm working here, I don't have to worry about anything falling into the sink. I'm really happy at how this worked out, where it's able to swing in and get out of the way. And yeah, it's pretty simple and it looks good. So yeah. I believe the reason why the router bit was chattering was because I was taking a big bite. I was taking out about 1/4 of an inch, and it should be a lot less than that. Maybe 1/8 of an inch at a time, so that it won't make that chatter sound. But because I had the ball bearing riding on that piece of plywood, I had to go 1/4 inch deep. So it is what it is. But we got this done. I'm happy this came out the way it did. There was a moment that I thought that it was gonna fail, but it came out perfect, and it's great. Now that that's done, we're going to be finishing this door on the next video. I know I was gonna save this for a Tuesday video, but this is taking so long and taking so much work. I'm going to finish it for a Thursday video, and I'm just gonna get more into depth on each step, because I know in the last video there wasn't a lot of information on what I was doing. So stay tuned for that on next week's video. And this is where I'm gonna close today's videos. If you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. Any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. And you wanna see more projects, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thanks.